sad news today, y'all. So I'm finally gonna have to retire my Lancome foundation. And this is why. First of all, y'all, I don't know what they did to the ingredients in the foundation, but for some reason when I wear it, it's so orangey now. First I thought it was me, just by me working out. I'm getting darker for being outside, but no, I think the ingredients have changed because I've literally bought 2 bottles of their foundation in 2 different shades and they both look orange. So I want to try out this new Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. I did do a tester on my hand and it looked like it's blendable. So we're gonna try it and we're gonna see what it does for us. Anyway, while we're doing that, what's going on, y'all? For me, I finally made the decision that I'm not gonna be having any children. I know y'all probably like, yeah, you can't have children, but yeah, I can have children. Probably not in the way that you expect me to have children, but I can definitely have children. I make the decision to not have children. I say that because the climate that we're in right now, we're literally in an era where we have the most transphobic and homophobic people in the world. I hate to raise children in this climate. I always hear these stories about everybody always saying that trans people and gay people are pushing this agenda, but I just remember being just a child, just wanted to grow up as a child, just wanted to play with toys, just wanted to enjoy my life and have fun. I had my family and I had classmates and everybody else try to tell me and force a gender down my throat that I didn't even identify with. I don't think that it's trans people or gay people that's pushing an agenda. I just think that people just forget to read. Just imagine little Aaron, who was born male, who doesn't even know what gender is. He wants to play with his sister's toys because he loves playing with Barbie. Not because he thinks he's a girl, but because he just wants to play with it. Now you have his mother coming in, whooping him just because he decided to play with a toy. Him not even knowing what gender is, but he has his parents that's whooping him, telling him that this is wrong and that he's a boy and he should be ashamed of himself. That's the thing that brings him peace. But for some reason, it's all so wrong just because he just wants to be a child. What type of trauma that can cause a little child when really they're just trying to be a child and just trying to live their life. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the foundation. Not mad at this shade. I feel like this shade kind of does what it needs to do. It's not as orangey as the Lancome foundation and it's very much blendable. So I'm kind of impressed. I really hate this pimple right here. Overall though, I love the way that this foundation looks on me. Because once I add the blush and everything, I think it's going to give me like the perfect shade that I need. And then I'm actually going to go in with the Pat McGrath. This is in the shade D32. For me, I love spraying my one side setting spray here before I actually blend out my concealer. Get back into this story time. So just imagine this child growing up now who is actually a teenager, still trying to figure out their identity, but unsure of what their identity is, starting to figure out what that looks like. Now you have your father that's convincing you to want to play football because that solidifies or reaffirms your gender that he thinks that you are. Deep down inside, football is not what you want to play. You want to be a dancer. You want to go to dance classes. For some reason, you can't go because they're telling you that's not masculine enough. Again, who exactly is pushing an agenda? This child now understands what gender is, their attraction is, what their sexuality is, and how they want to live as. Yet again, you have their parents, you have strangers, you have society telling them that who they are is not who they should be. Now they have to live a life of being discriminated against, a religion being weaponized against them, being targeted for just existing, but then still have to be humble in the process. I was being told they're not allowed in places because they simply just exist. Again, where's the agenda? I say all this to say we need to stop weaponizing people because people just choose to be themselves. It's not your job to tell people who they are. It's their job to tell you who they are. The child in that story was me. I spent so much of my life trying to please everyone else, where I'm finally in a place of peace where I'm just living my life and I don't care about other people's opinions. I do want people to get educated. Stop trying to use the word biological like that gives you some kind of one-up on trans people. Using it, don't even know what the word biological means. Trans is not a sexuality. I repeat, trans is not a sexuality. One more time from the people in the back. Trans is not a sexuality. It's an identity and we all have one. You should be respecting trans people. Do you know how much confidence and pride that it takes to reaffirm your gender and just be exactly who you are freely? The amount of work that it takes to reaffirm your gender, and despite adversity, still choosing to be who you are. Last thing I want to say is choose yourself, be yourself, and don't care about other people's opinions about you. Also, too, this foundation looks amazing. I think you found a new friend. Bye, y'all.